Palmerfest arrests are up a lot this year. We'll tell you what put festgoers behind bars.
A new veteran center on campus helps a growing number of vets who attend Ohio University. Find out what the center does to assist.
And a new studio in Nelsonville opens for the creative folks in the community. Newswatch at Noon starts right now. Cold temperatures didn't stop students from festing this weekend. Good afternoon, I'm Lippert.
And I'm Danielle Podlaski. Arrests are up by more than 40% from last year at Palmerfest. Parties in the street began as early as 11 a.m., but police shut down many of those parties just hours later. Corbin Bagford was on Palmer Street Saturday and joins us live. Corbin?
Just 35 degrees on Saturday, but the cold weather didn't stop young adults from flooding Palmer Street and getting in some trouble.
Festers were out in droves on Saturday for this year's Palmerfest. The final and most notorious Athens Street Festival played host to cold temperatures, cold beverages, and what some describe as cold-hearted police. Partygoers were permitted to fest in front yards, but once on the sidewalk they were subject to law enforcement. A total of 57 arrests were made at Saturday's event, a dramatic increase from last year's total of 33. Most of the arrests were made on alcohol-related charges. Athens police shut down 5 parties by 1:30 in the afternoon for violating the city's nuisance party ordinance. Police shut down most of the remaining parties by 4 p.m. Still, those who showed up to party seemed to have a good time.
Well, I'm a Christian, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to come out here and run into some friends maybe and say hi to people and hang out.
I'm here to have a good time with my friends and celebrate the weekend. You know, we just got done with midterms, so I'm trying to have a good time.
The swarm of festers nearly shut down Palmer Street, making it difficult for cars to travel down the road.
Maybe only 21 degrees out here right now for the last of these spring fests, but as you can see behind me, the cold weather is not affecting the crowds at today's Palmerfest.
My face is a little cold, but I dress for the weather, so my body's not that cold. I think people are going to come out anyway. They're just going to dress warmer and probably drink a little bit, and that'll warm them right up.
Despite the cold weather, the day's festivities proved safe for those involved. Athens County EMS responded to just one call, resulting in a student being transported to Oblenis Memorial Hospital.
The early end of Palmerfest saw many students spill onto Court Street for an afternoon snack or early dinner. Many students say that they were upset with the fest's abrupt conclusion, but police say the decision was made with safety in mind. Reporting live on Palmer Street, I'm Corbin Bagford.
Thanks, Corbin.
Palmerfest changed the campus dining hall menus on those afternoon snacks. Some students drank more than the typical fountain drink on Saturday. This photo, taken by the Post, shows a sign at the entrance of Nelson warning students not to bring alcohol. Students were also forced to go through a bag check throughout the day. Even though students were told not to bring alcohol, beer cans were still found in the dining hall, and employees said they had to deal with a lot of drunk students. It is unclear what action the dining halls will take with 13 Fest coming up. Beware of scam calls appearing to come from a 911 phone number. The caller has been telling Ohioans that an arrest warrant will be issued or a lawsuit filed if they don't contact the Attorney General's office immediately, using a phone number provided by the caller. The Attorney General says the calls apparently are designed to scare consumers into providing money or personal information. The office has received about 20 reports of such calls and is urging Ohioans not to respond to the caller.
3 people died in an early morning fire in Youngstown. The Youngstown Fire Department hasn't released the names or ages of the 3 victims. There were no other injuries in the fire. Neighbors report hearing what sounded like an explosion around the same time the fire broke out. But fire investigators say the cause of the fire is still being examined. A California firefighter is critically injured after falling through the roof of a burning home. The unidentified firefighter was trying to put out flames in the garage of a home in Fresno from the roof. He fell through the roof and right into the fire. Fellow firefighters rushed in to help pull him out. The firefighter was taken to the hospital with 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
At least 8 people are dead and 10 more injured in an early morning church van crash in Florida. A church van from Fort Pierce ran through a stop sign, crossed all lanes of US 27, and landed in a canal in southwest Florida. The crash happened at an intersection in Glades County. The driver and 7 passengers are confirmed dead.
It's a very tragic circumstances, so we lost a lot of family members, the church family, and what we can do just pray God help us out, and pray for us, and to see what's going on because it's very sad for us.
The group was returning home from a church in Fort Myers to the Independent Haitian Assembly of God Church in Fort Pierce. 3 teens were arrested over the weekend for shooting BB guns at drivers near Newark, Ohio. Police received more than 70 reports of vehicle damage on Saturday. 1 18-year-old and 2 16-year-old boys were arrested yesterday, and at least one of them confessed. Police expect charges to be filed today.
An Ohio Supreme Court ruling could change how environmental regulators impose pollution limits on bodies of water around Ohio. Last week, the court said the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency must give out public notices and hold hearings before issuing pollution limits affecting bodies of water. The Columbus Dispatch reports Justice Terrence O'Donnell disagreed with the ruling, worried the decision would invalidate nearly 1,800 water pollution limits already imposed by the Ohio EPA. Veterans who attend Ohio University are receiving a lot more help than they did last year. A new Veteran Center has opened to guide these new students through all the resources available to join them. Newswatch Noon reporter Namisha Rakasia is live in the newsroom with how the Veteran Center is making college much easier for our veterans.
Veterans who attend OU have a wealth of resources available to them, but until now, many of them have lost out on those benefits because they had no one to provide guidance. The Ohio legislators saw the problem and passed a measure requiring state colleges and universities to create Veterans Centers to help out. And on Thursday, the Veterans Center at Ohio University celebrated its reopening, going from just a desk that took veterans' tuition payments to a complete suite of offices dedicated to assisting veterans with college life. Mindy Lean, a veteran and current Ohio University student, says the center is like a bridge.
It bridges the gap for us as veterans and as military students, and it helps integrate us into the normal college population. And I know that I can come to the Veterans Center whenever I need anything. If I just need to sit down with Mr. Edwards and have a powwow and just talk about my day, I know that I have the ability to do that.
Veteran Tyler Daniels, an Ohio University student, says when he was a freshman, the center was just a place to pay your tuition. Now he says it offers much more.
We started out just certifying students and helping them with their benefits, and then the House bill came down from the state of Ohio, and we needed to go a little deeper. We needed to make an actual resource for veterans where they could come, they could get information, they could come to learn and connect with learn about and connect with other veterans on campus.
Daniel says he hopes the center will one day become one of the best veteran centers in the entire nation. The Veteran Center has now become a hangout for OU veterans, allowing them to connect with others who have served. Live from the newsroom, I'm Namisha Rakasia.
Thanks, Namisha.
Nelsonville has a new place for community members to show their artistic sides. The Around the Corner studio had its grand opening Friday night and gave kids a chance to decorate some Easter eggs. The new studio offers a variety of classes ranging from pottery to painting, as well as exercise, fitness, and martial arts classes. Nelsonville Emporium owner Jennifer LaRue came up with the idea for the new studio. She said that the community had a need and they had the extra space for it.
Well, Around the Corner Studio started from an idea that we had a space available, and we started using it for theater, group meetings, fitness clubs. We've been doing some dance with Factory Street Studio, and we really want to incorporate more classes that are needed in the community in this space.
People will be allowed to rent the space for birthday parties and other private functions.
A University of Cincinnati football player is standing trial. What is he accused of?
And more on the final minutes of the Germanwings flight when Newswatch at Noon returns. Thousands of employers in the state who were overcharged for workers' compensation insurance premiums will have to wait at least a few weeks more to get their money back. A $420 million court settlement was reached last July and payouts were expected this month. But one of the plaintiff's lawyers says now the money won't go out until the first half of May.
Economists say that U.S. consumers spent slightly more in February because they had more money in their pockets. The Commerce Department reports that consumer spending was up 0.1% last month, following declines in both January and December. The increase reflected a rise in the purchase of non-durable goods such as food and energy. Income also grew nearly 0.5% last month, and economists are hoping that continued strong income gains will help increase consumer spending even more. Ohio gas prices are up again to start the work week. The state average for a gallon of regular gas was $2.38 in Monday's survey from Auto Club AAA, the Oil Price Information Service, and WEX Inc. That's up a nickel from a week ago, but $1.19 less than last year at this time. Ohio prices were slightly less than the national average, which was $2.42 per gallon Monday. That's unchanged from the past 2 weeks and $1.13 less than a year ago at this time. Among Ohio's metropolitan areas, Youngstown had the lowest average Monday at $2.34 per gallon.
Amanda Knox is finally free of her murder conviction after Italy's highest court overturned the verdict on Friday. The ruling ends the 7.5-year legal battle for Knox and her ex-boyfriend. They were first found guilty of the murder and sexual assault of Knox's roommate in 2009. The panel deliberated for almost 10 hours before coming to a decision. The surprising decision was made due to a lack of sufficient evidence to convict the pair. A University of Cincinnati football player testified in court that a group of men taunted him with racist remarks. Jared Evans, a backup quarterback for the UC football team, was accused of knocking a man out with a punch. Evans said he believed the man was among a group making racist remarks about him and his girlfriend. Evans is standing trial in Cincinnati on a misdemeanor assault charge in an incident that happened near campus last October.
Investigators have a better idea of the last minutes of the Germanwings flight that crashed last week. A German newspaper published details from the flight's cockpit voice recorder. They could hear the pilot begging the co-pilot to let him back into the cockpit, although the newspaper has not yet published a summary of the recordings. Investigators have not yet released their summary.
Must be some validity to it, because while the authorities are outraged, they haven't denied that it was accurate. It certainly points us in a direction that it was an intentional act by the co-pilot.
Within 13 minutes of the pilot first leaving the cockpit, the report says the plane's wings can be heard scraping the mountainside. Pope Francis said a prayer for those who lost their lives in the Germanwings plane crash during Palm Sunday Mass. In Italian, the Pope said, "I entrust to the Virgin Mary's intercession the victims of Tuesday's tragic plane crash, those who died including a group of German students." It is believed the co-pilot of the flight deliberately crashed the plane last Tuesday. All 150 passengers on board died.
A Dallas-based nonprofit organization traveled to Moore, Oklahoma this weekend to plant trees. Retreat crews wanted to clean up the city after the May 2013 tornado that killed 24 people. The timing couldn't be any better as another tornado hit earlier this week, which caused even more damage. According to its website, Retreat planned to plant up to 160 trees.
Spring in Athens means warmer weather and showers. Allison will tell you when to pack your umbrella.
And a local basketball player is headed to the Elite Eight with her college team. We have the story next on Newswatch at noon.
So it was really cold this weekend. We even saw some snow flurries on Friday.
Yeah, you know, there was some snow on Friday into Saturday, but yesterday it seemed to warm up a little bit at least. I did get a little bit of sun. I was outside all day. So Allison is here and she's going to let us know if it's going to warm up this week or if we're going to see some more snow.
Well, the good news is that we don't have any snow in our forecast and the temperatures are getting warmer now. Looking outside on our tower cam right now, look at that. You can see we have clear skies out there, a few clouds in the sky. It's going to be a nice day out there today. Our temperature right now is 50 degrees and that's going to keep going up as we go throughout the day. Winds are west at 11 miles per hour. Now, looking at our temperatures around the region right now, they are in the mid 40s to low 50s. We have 47 in Newark, we have 51 in Jackson as well as in Ripley, 53 down in Ironton. Now our almanac today is showing that we are going to be on target with our temperatures for our average. Today our expected high is 57 and our normal is 60 for this time of year. Our low set this morning only 1 degree off from our average of 37. Now looking at our our temperatures for the afternoon, they are going to keep going up. Like I said, we have 52 for Newark, 54 in New Lexington, then 62 in Ironton, 57 in Ripley. Now, a precast today is showing that there's not much going on for us here in Ohio. We do have this high pressure system that's over our region. That's what's giving us that mix of sun and clouds outside today, and that nicer weather, as well as some of those warmer temperatures. You can see that rain and that cold front that moved out. That was what was giving us those chillier, wintry-like conditions yesterday and the days before. Now, tonight, that high pressure is going to remain in effect over our region, but we are going to start seeing some increasing clouds as this low pressure begins to work its way in for tomorrow. So then tomorrow we see this cold front and low pressure system approaching its way in. That is going to possibly give us a chance for some pop-up rain showers throughout the day tomorrow, though it is a very slight chance. Now, looking overnight tonight, temperatures are going to not be quite as cold as we've been feeling overnight, where we've been seeing some teens and 20s. We're actually going to be in the 30s and 40s now. We have 38 in Newark, 40 here in Athens, 41 in Jackson, as well as Chillicothe, and 39 in Ripley and Ironton. So tonight, our temperatures at 40 degrees, like I said, with some increasing clouds throughout the night as that low pressure approaches. And then we have our winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, looking at that a little bit broken down for you overnight tonight, starting at 8 p.m., 51 degrees with those clear skies. Then by midnight, 45 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and those clouds keep rolling in by 6 a.m. with 41 degrees as our temperature. Now, looking at your 7-day forecast, like I said, warming up. Well, it's going to warm up for tomorrow with 57 degrees and a mix of sun and clouds. Then by Tuesday, 63 degrees with a slight chance of rain. But then by Wednesday, sunny skies, 59, warming up to 71 on Thursday. But there's going to also be a chance of rain and thunderstorms as we head into the evening. So it definitely looks like we're getting some more spring-like weather in our forecast for the next few days.
Yeah, I'm really liking that high on Thursday of 71 degrees. As long as we don't get any more snow, I'll be really happy.
Just bring your umbrella.
Yes, make sure to bring your umbrella. We are going to see some rain toward the end of the week.
Okay, well, thank you, Allison. If you're interested in glass art, there's a new exhibit at the Kennedy Museum.
Find out more about this exhibit and other things to do in today's community calendar.
So the Bobcats had a couple baseball games this weekend, right?
How'd they do? Had a really rough weekend against Western Michigan. What's happening, Zahara?
Yeah, unfortunately, they were not able to pull off the win for this weekend. The Ohio baseball team fell to Western Michigan this past weekend at home. The Broncos won the games on Friday and Sunday, while the Bobcats won on Saturday, ending the series 2-1 in Western Michigan's favor. Ohio sophomore Mitch Longo was the leading batter for the Bobcats, going 3 for 4 and scoring 1 run. This was Longo's 12th multi-hit game of the season and 4th game with at least 3 hits. Ohio is now the number 4 seed in the MAC, while WMU is the number 7 seed. The Bobcats are now 14-11 overall and 2-4 in the MAC. Ohio's next game will be tomorrow in Columbus. The Bobcats are taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. First pitch will be at 6:35 p.m. The Buckeyes are 18-7 overall and 4-2 in conference. The Buckeyes are entering the game on a 1-game winning streak, while the Bobcats currently have a 1-game losing streak. Ohio softball swept Western Michigan on their home turf this past weekend in Kalamazoo, Michigan. In their doubleheader Saturday, the Bobcats defeated the Broncos 9-8 in the first game and 3-2 in the second. This was the Bobcats season MAC opener. In the first game, the Broncos got out to an early lead of 7-0 before Ohio's Lauren McClary helped the team come back to secure the win. The Bobcats are now 9-18 overall and undefeated in the MAC at 2-0. One local baller still has a shot at the national championship with Dayton's thumping of Louisville this weekend. Newswatch at Noon reporter Kiera Cotton says Eastern High School graduate Jenna Burdett is geared to take the Flyers all the way.
During her 4 years playing for the Eastern Eagles, Jenna Burdett was a standout player. She averaged double-figure scoring each year, and in her senior year, led her team to the state championship for the first time in school history.
After helping her team secure the championship, Jenna decided to take a bigger shot with the Dayton Flyers.
Head coach Jim Jabir says Jenna is a complete point guard who is equally adept at scoring as she is passing the ball. She has a great sense of her teammates around her and what is going on in the game. She is a welcome addition to our young team and will make an impact. And an impact she has made. In the Flyers game against Louisville, Burdett played more than half the game and scored a total of 6 points. While her scoring is in accord with her playing time, it is her on-court presence that her father and former coach, John Burdett, says he has seen the most improvement.
I think she's improved on her ball handling, probably a skill set. As far as pounding the ball harder, I can remember when she first went up and she was talking about how hard they dribble the basketball, you know. And I mean, that's something we always worked on.
With the Flyers' 82-66 win over Louisville, the team advances to the Elite Eight. Facing the #1 seed UConn, the team will need a little something special to defeat the Huskies. However, John says Jenna has had the tools since she was a child.
Play with imagination. You know, that's when she was little. All kids start out little when playing basketball, and the ones you can tell that's going to be pretty good, they're always the ones out there playing, and they can imagine playing against somebody, you know. They can imagine doing something fun or something different and, you know, making a different play or, you know, whatever, just having that excitement.
Burdett's father hopes the excitement can carry Burdett and the rest of her team through the end of the tournament and in their fight against UConn. Reporting for Newswatch at Noon, I'm Kiera Cotton.
The Flyers are set to take on the University of Connecticut Huskies tonight at 7 on ESPN. Now, while we're excited to see how far Dayton goes in the NCAA women's tournament, in the men's tournament, it's now down to the Final Four. Michigan State, Duke, Kentucky, and Wisconsin are all headed to Indy, and it was not an easy road for any of them. #1 seeds Duke and Kentucky were almost knocked off in their games this past weekend. Michigan State and Duke will tip off at 6:09 p.m., while Wisconsin and Kentucky are expected to tip off at 8:49 p.m. You can catch both games on TBS. The Cavs narrowly beat the 76ers yesterday in Cleveland. The final score was 87-86, and turnovers were a big problem for both teams. The 76ers had 13 and the Cavs had 17. The Cavs' leading scorers were LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, combining for 37 points. However, it was really a combined effort from all of the Cavs players to win the game. All but one of their starters scored in the double digits. And while the leading scorer for Philly, Robert Covington, only had 19 points. The Cavs are now 48-27 and will play the Heat next on Thursday. The Ohio track and field team turned in several solid performances this weekend at the Winthrop Invitational. The team scored the majority of points in field events. Junior Ashley Billheimer won the javelin throw with a toss of 42.33 meters. Freshman Jordan Porter took second in the shot put, recording a toss of 13.9 meters. Sophomore Olivia Mayfield took third in the long with a leap of 5.37 meters, and junior Haley Stagemeyer led mid-distance with a third-place finish in the 800-meter run. In the 1500-meter run, saw junior Tessa Wigan finish third overall. Ohio will compete at home on Saturday at the Ohio Blossom Invitational. Back to you guys.
They had solid performances and great weather in South Carolina.
They were lucky.
All right, thanks, Zahara.
And that's all we have for today. Tune in to Newswatch tonight at 6:30.
Join us tomorrow for a preview of the Bat Rally. For Zahara Pruitt, Allison Gens, and Lauren Lippert, I'm Danielle Podlaski. Thanks for watching and have a great day.